Merry Crisis! I'm Frenny.
And I'm Slappa.
And this is Vibes and Delights. Merry Christmas, y'all.
And Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year. Which, by the way, speaking of New Year, if you're a part of my Discord channel, join the Discord. Whoop, whoop. If you're part of my Discord channel, go ahead and join us. We're going to have a New Year's Eve celebration. I think we're going to play Among Us because... we were playing with our kids.
They're terrible.
Oh my gosh, the way that we were playing with our children and they snitched immediately. Like I got to be the imposter like twice. And both times like I got my daughter and she was like, Mommy. And I was like, dang, just out me. Why I was quiet when it was you. Right. Like shit. Fucking up the rotation. Anyway, but no, we had a lot of fun. And oh man, they don't make RC cars like they used to, man. I mean, it's got a bunch of lights on it and it do be going in circles and it was they was playing EDM music on that shit. Like
yeah,
it was like
crazy.
It was like lights all night.
Yeah, your mom bought us the loudest possible toy. I think that was her goal.
Right, like
she's gonna one up herself next year too.
Oh my gosh. And but no, it was just like a really lazy day. We didn't do nothing all day. And I just really liked that. But and then I went back to work and then now I hate everything again. But anyway, but no. But all right, cool. Slappa is a little tired, so we're going to just jump in today. People are also doing the most right now. Like people are shooting off fireworks and we've been hearing explosions since 2 days ago. Send help. But anyway.
They woke me up the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I thought a car like hit a building next to us.
It was crazy.
It was so loud.
It was so loud. Like we saw somebody left their bumper on our front lawn, essentially. Like there's like a really deep gutter area like right there. And oh my gosh, the bumper was just in the street. And I think they limped around the corner. They left the home. They didn't come back for it. And all the neighbors was out too. Like... they didn't want to do that walk of shame. I like, shoot, man, you're not the only one. Give me my bumper. Right, give me my bumper. Shit, let put some. Go to Matilda's dad and borrow some of that glue he got. Right. What Christmas movies did y'all watch? We watched a lot of Christmas movies, and we just kind of did nothing. And remember, it's just a day. So I'm just happy that I got to spend the day that I wanted it to. But anyway, Slappa's a little tired baby. And but we did find a couple Christmas related stories. So I swear this first one that we're about to read, I just know it's going to disappear. It's not, by the time y'all see this, it will be gone. It will be gone. Like you can't change my mind. This will not be here. But all right. So let's grab our vibes and our delights. And again, guys, if you are not delighting in the way that I'm delighting, that is just fine. Vibe and delight the way that you want to. We're just hanging out. We're just partying and rocking. You know, oh man, the things I learned about the party rock people.
The party rock people?
Oh yeah, like
with the LMAO.
LMFAO, yeah.
Really?
I went down some rabbit hole. When I say rabbit hole, that means I watched somebody else go down a rabbit hole. But anyway, yeah, apparently it was like an uncle nephew duo, and Unc left it was like right before the Super Bowl or some shit like that, and one of them like the nephew, his back went out, and then the Unc left him there. He was like, the show must go on, and then he did the show without him, and then he even got on the tour bus and left without him even further. Dude was in the hospital.
Wait,
and like
I gotta see this performance. I don't remember that.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, and I might be misquoting, you know what I'm saying, but that did happen. His back went out at a really important show, and then the bro left him. Unc left. Okay, but anyway. I forgot forgot why I even brought
Yeah, I was
that
like,
up.
what's that got to do with this story?
Oh my God, why did I bring that up? Hold on. Why did I bring that up? Oh, because I was like, we're going to be party rocking for like New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay, okay. Jeez.
For ride. And if that's wrong, please delete all of
No,
this.
I'm not leaving it in.
Nah, Jesus.
We gotta hear the correct version of
No.
events.
All right, so am I the asshole for wanting to take a break from my wife after she screamed at me on Christmas in front of the other guests? So, my wife and I have been married for 10 years, and we have 3 children aged 3, 5, and 8. A couple nights ago, our family hosted the Christmas party where we invited siblings, parents, and grandparents. The party was going great, and it was a much needed time for me after a long year at work. There were a lot of jokes cracked, and I did get pretty drunk by the end. When I got up to go to the restaurant, I accidentally dropped the glass of water, and the glass broke. I knew my wife would be angry, but I immediately cleaned it up. However, after I was done cleaning, my wife asked me to come to the bedroom. At the room, my wife shouted at me really loudly. I could see she was really angry. She kept shouting about how she warned me to not get drunk at the party and things like that. Is that
Things like
something
that.
right? Like, is
What else
this
is like that?
right? Like, or do you do this regularly? That's a good question. I told my wife everyone could hear, and my wife didn't stop. She just kept shouting. However, when I apologized, my wife immediately stopped shouting and she cooled down after that. When I got out of the room, it was obvious everyone had heard my wife screaming at me. It was really awkward and I felt humiliated, and they all left shortly after. When I woke up the next morning, my wife apologized a lot for the previous night and even broke down in tears. When she hugged me, I just left the bed and went to our children. Luckily, since we had put our children to sleep early the previous night, they didn't hear the shouting. My wife apologized a lot the rest of the day, but I just felt dead inside. I need to know more about this fight because there's no
Like,
way.
that's out of the blue to just
Yeah.
be screaming like that, or
And for you,
it's a continual thing that's brought her to screaming about it.
right.
Like, it's either crazy out of character for her, or
Or this is like the nail that broke the camel's
right,
back.
like you're drunk again when we're hosting Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a whole family came to their house and he's getting crazy wasted.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm. I told my wife I needed some space from her. My only focus was our children and to ensure that they had a good Christmas. And we did have a good Christmas yesterday. However, at the end of the day, when I went to sleep on the couch, my wife was begging me and crying a lot to come on the bed. And I told my wife to just give me some space. I told her up front that I'm losing feelings by the minute. Okay,
After just this?
right. And the more she tries to force it, the more I just want to consider. I've never divorce, but I've never used the divorce word before, and I never thought I would, but that's where my head's at now. Am I the asshole? I feel like you're not telling us everything.
Yeah.
I feel like you're not telling us everything. Like, top comment.
Do you have a drinking problem?
Also, I'm probably going to screenshot this because there's no way this is going to be up in a
How long has it
couple
been
of
up?
days. 10 hours.
Has he answered these questions?
It says, do you have a drinking problem? You know what? I could just go to this person. My sister said that what my wife did was not okay and I shouldn't have gotten drunk. I only drink occasionally at parties, but I do get buzzed pretty easy. I look at it as a way to relax and have a good time with friends, but I do admit that I need to control it and limit how much I drink at parties. I'm sorry, that whole paragraph, I guess this could be considered, um, felt like trickle truth. Like
Yeah, very trickle truth.
whenever I was,
Like you get buzzed pretty easily, but also
you drink a lot.
I need to control it and limit how much I drink.
And also, it definitely felt like that when I was trying to play down how much I was drinking.
Mm.
Like, I'm not hiding it anymore. I'm like facing the truth. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's definitely giving. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I got it
It,
under control.
yeah,
It's just fun.
yeah. That from an alcoholic. Okay, I'm like not gonna say I'm recovered in any way, shape, or form, and I'm so proud of all the work that I've done. But sincerely, someone who has fucking been there. But anyway, my wife occasionally talks loud to me, but this was the first time she shouted this loud and did this in front of other people. But why? Okay, I've never felt as humiliated as I felt that night. My sister even called me yesterday asking if I was okay, and I felt relaxed talking with her, something I haven't felt with my wife in a long time. So something's telling me that this is not the first time. She would be much happier in the long run because she doesn't have to police your drinking problem, probably.
Mm.
Mm,
Mm.
okay. Well, that was interesting. That was very interrogation or whatever. But what do you think about that one?
I think there's definitely some information missing selectively from this story.
Yeah.
And the comments did not help the case. Like, it still felt like he's like trying to step around saying what's actually going on.
And also, a lot of the commenters seem to be on the same page as us. They were like, "You seem like an unreliable narrator.
Mm.
Like you seem like you're trying to paint yourself in a really good light."
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people on the "Am I the Asshole" try to do that, but it's like very obvious. Like the story just seems like out of like, okay, but why'd they react that way? You know, like, are you the asshole? If they did that out the blue, no, but people don't usually do this shit out the blue.
Out the blue.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How many times has like, oh, she's divorcing me out the
Yeah, it
blue,
came out of nowhere, man.
like,
Everything was so good.
or like they call you like bipolar, right?
Mm.
How many times have we had that conversation where we were like, um, where a guy y'all break up or something and he calls you bipolar and all this other shit saying that you just blow up randomly for no reason, like y'all be laughing and chilling and then all of a sudden you freak the fuck out.
It feels like a
But
gaslighter.
it is a gaslight
Yeah.
because you did not, in fact, just blow the fuck up. You are not, in fact, possibly not bipolar. You've been pressed and pressed and prodded and prodded and poked and poked and poked by all these little things like die 1,000 deaths. You know what I'm saying? Like all the little cuts start becoming a lot. Okay, when you start feeling a lot all at once, and then it's just that one fucking yeesh, and then you're just like, "Ah!" You just start like freaking the fuck out. Like that's not what that is. You keep using this word. I don't think you know what it means. I don't know what's happening. I forgot what we were talking about,
We
and
really did just kind of ramble off at each other.
yeah. So let's
keep
keep going.
going.
All right. So next one is a story called, and of course Slappa's gonna read because it's Slappa's choice.
Am I the asshole for not going above and beyond to make sure my kids see their half sister and not even making sure they get to see her at Christmas? Okay.
T.
I, 30 male, have 2 kids, 11 female and 9 male, with my ex, Charlotte, 30 female, and I have full physical and legal custody of them. We had our kids young, and so we did struggle, but Charlotte struggled worse, and she regretted having the kids within a month of our son's birth. And arguably, she regretted having our daughter at the same time, too. But she spoke up when our son was born, and she asked for time to find herself. But when she was free from parental responsibilities, she didn't want to come back.
Oh, so she came out postpartum.
Yeah.
And stayed postpartum and had more kids postpartum.
Mm.
Dang. Okay. Oof.
I got primary custody of our kids from the jump. She had a generous visitation schedule for a parent who admitted she didn't really want the kids. But the judge at the time was unwilling to give the mom just every other weekend. And so she got 3 weeks a month and 4 dinners during the week, Wednesday. Oh, like every Wednesday. She never took Wednesdays, and for a while she took one weekend a month, but sometimes she'd go months without seeing them. The judge wouldn't change the time he gave her because she was mom, even with over a year of failing to take all her parenting time.
Right.
Charlotte's family wanted to see the kids, and we got along okay-ish, so I always let them see the kids. Things changed with Charlotte when she met her husband, Rob. He wanted the kids. He wanted to be my kid's dad. That's kind of weird.
That's mad sus.
Yeah. Like, she doesn't even have the kids around, and he's like, wants them now.
Right. And also, it's just like really hard to get over the fact that they have a young daughter. So, like, what a freak.
They tried to get more custody after the wedding. They literally filed on their wedding day thinking the marriage made a big difference.
Wow.
Rob would tell me the kids called him dad now, and my kids would say they didn't. He'd tell me I was getting between him and the kids, would accuse me of telling the kids not to call him dad. This is getting weird.
It is.
They jerked away from him whenever he went to reach for them. I asked if he ever hurt them, and
Yeah.
they said no.
Okay.
Just that he was always trying to make them stand next to him or walk with him, and they didn't like it.
Okay.
I documented each incident and spoke to my lawyer. I also recorded an incident where he was scolding the kids for calling him by his name in front of me and for trying to come over and hug me, saying it was their time with the kids and they didn't need to be near me. This was at an extracurricular function. When the custody evaluation happened, I presented all the evidence. A GAL was provided, and by the time I was given full physical and legal custody, Rob was done with my kids because they wouldn't be his. So he couldn't get to the kids, so he gave up.
Yeah. And also, I did tell this story on live. If you missed that, I will be posting it on YouTube. As always, as I try to do one at least once a month. Did I do one last? Anyway. But no. Seriously, like, GAL is a guardian ad litem, I believe it was, and basically it's like emergency custody, like because people are being like mad crazy, and I guess that was enough for him to like receive that, and that's why he gave up, and like I just think that's fucking
That's
crazy.
huge red flags.
That is because like why were you trying so hard for someone else's children who did not want them?
Like you made her
like
get
he
her kids back for you.
Right, like it's almost like I don't know, like a church guy trying to like go for pastor or something, and he's trying to like make himself look good. Oh, look at this family I
Oh, I
pulled
get
from
you.
the like trenches and put them on the path of Jesus.
I could see that.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are weird as shit.
Or like remember that one movie where in order to or that show, I think it was on Futurama, I'm not sure, but she got married to a minority and then had a baby, and that secured her position in like the government or something. That was like a movie or a show. Somebody in the Discord channel join the Discord. Tell me what movie or show I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure that's a Futurama episode, but I'm not sure.
A switch flipped from they're mine and fuck off to take them and get them out of my sight. Charlotte seemed relieved to have the kids be back with me all the time.
Right. See, like, what the fuck?
Following the end of the custody evaluation, I heard Charlotte was pregnant, and 10 months after the court date, Charlotte and Rob had a daughter. My kids saw her 3 times. She's 4 now. Charlotte doesn't have any contact with our kids now. However, her family still sees them. Charlotte's parents and siblings have complained that I don't facilitate a relationship with my kids and their half-sister.
What? She's 4.
Right.
Wait, how old are the kids?
They were like 5 and 8.
11 and 9.
Oh, damn. That was last story.
Damn, like, but also, like, what teenager or tween
Wants to hang out with a 4-year-old.
wants to hang out with a fucking 4-year-old. Like,
Right. That's my
I would,
sister.
I would be a little more worried that they
Ooh.
wanted to hang out with her, if I'm being honest, and it wasn't in a genuine like, oh, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, yeah.
They told me I should be going above and beyond to make sure they grow up loving each other, and that my kids have told them they don't care about their half sister.
They don't really
I
care
don't
about
care,
us.
Grandma.
All I'm gonna say is that they don't really care about us.
I asked why it came up, and they asked because my kids never talk about her, and they said it was my fault. Charlotte's parents have decided from now on they'll host Christmas for their entire family, and they want me to send the kids to them on Christmas Day so they can be with their half sister. I said no. They said
No.
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 They said this is how they see her at Christmas, at least, and form a relationship. I told them I will not send the kids away from their one active parent at Christmas to be ignored by the other and have a 4-year-old pushed onto them by the extended family.
Right. What are y'all gonna do? Y'all need babysitters.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like.
Charlotte's parents didn't like this and accused me of being a petty dad who only cares about his bloodline and not valuing the relationship between half siblings when the half isn't my half. They told me I should do what's best for the kids and not me. Why are they coming to you about this and not their daughter?
Every accusation is just a confession. Every accusation is just a confession.
Damn.
So listen, I've been trying to spread that around. So if you see that, please share it. Okay, first of all. And then second of all, every accusation is a confession. They're accusing you. Because you can't change my mind. They need babysitters. They need babysitters, and those kids are just old enough to be considered babysitting age. And I really think that they want them to be there so that they can be servants to the other kids, especially because of that dude who's got this weird complex and wants the kids to obey him and beckon and worship the ground he walks on for some reason. So, like, I really think that it's unsafe to send them there.
Definitely.
It's super unsafe.
Seriously, like, the mom doesn't want anything to do with them. Why would they be around the half sibling if the mom doesn't even want them around?
Right.
Maybe talk to your daughter on that one, because she's not facilitating shit.
It's giving narcissist family flying
Yes.
monkeys, like, kind of situation. Damn, those poor monkeys. By the way, we saw Wicked. God damn, those poor monkeys. So we were looking at some of the commenters, and it seems like they're in the same headspace that we are, that why the fuck aren't they just doing something about it? But, like, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like people are missing that key point that they're going to be sent there.
Right.
And that means that they're going to be, like, free to be abused by this dad.
This whole family.
This whole family,
like.
it sounds like, because it's giving big narcissist. But this person said it's optics. Grandparents want the holiday pictures with grands, so they post on Facebook about how they're such wonderful grandparents. Being a grandparent is a cutthroat business because they're all competing to show off their grands, like prize pigs at the county fair. Let me take my upvote.
Is that how it is?
I do believe so.
Like with church people, I'm sure.
Yes.
It's rough out there, I guess.
It is very rough out here. All right, let's read. Here's another comment. It says, not the asshole. Maybe the maternal grandparents should talk to their deadbeat daughter about why she isn't helping to facilitate a relationship. And slap a chest. And why she abandoned them in the first place.
Like, why are they okay with her abandoning them?
Yes.
They're just like, oh, okay, you got a new one?
And then this person goes on and they're like, come on, they don't want to acknowledge their daughter failed her children. She's a deadbeat. No, it has to be the OP's fault. It's much easier that way. And that's how those people really are too. Like,
right. She's like watching the one kid now. So everything's all right. And now it's just his fault.
Who's to say that she's the one actually doing it? Or is it just the dude?
Because he wanted the kid.
And then this person was like, what are the odds the parents also bent over backwards for Charlotte when she was growing up as well? They've probably been covering for her whole life and blah, blah, blah. And before our kiddo came in and interrupted us a little bit, I was getting ready to tell you all about the boat rocker story, how the boat rocker needs people to keep the boat steady. Otherwise, everybody's going to get thrown out of the boat. You're supposed to stay here, not jump ship. You need to come back and keep jumping to keep this boat steady. You know what I'm saying? The boat rocker is not the person who escapes. The boat rocker is the person who's causing all the problems, and everybody's just trying to placate them.
Mm.
And that's what I think this is really all about. And like, it's just miserable if I'm being honest with you.
That's crazy. Like,
I just don't see how it's his
it's not
fault.
his fault at all. I'm just like amazed that families like this exist. Like, how do you have an entire deadbeat parent for a child? Like, you raise this child and it grows up and has a couple kids and is like, you know what? You keep them, and just does their own thing and never even wants to see their own kids anymore. And then you're like covering for them. Why would you do that?
Kids always find out. Like, they always grow up and they always ask a lot of questions. And then when you don't give them the questions or the answers to the questions that they're asking for, they go and find that shit by their damn self when they're old enough with adult money.
I don't think they care about that. I'm just asking, like, why, as these grandparents, like the parents of this
No, I'm
woman,
saying like people should probably care a little more because them
well, they
kids
should, but like, I don't
always.
understand how you immediately are ignoring how shitty of your child is and acting like nothing they did is wrong and just like being chill with them, not taking care of their own kids.
You're asking that question because that's what your parents did. Your sister was so horrendous to us, and it was so obviously what your dad told us about your mom, and it was like she was walking the same path, and somehow he still took her side.
Right, I'm talking like when we were kids, my parents cared about us at least enough to like live in the same house with us. You know what I mean? Like, their daughter doesn't even live with those kids. Hasn't even seen them in like years, and now she has a baby, and
But
they're
was
like,
your mom postpartum?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. This chick was like mad postpartum.
Right, but she's not trying to get visitation anymore.
She never was.
Exactly. How are they chill with that?
Because they're just doing the bare minimum. Did you not see the way they were telling that story? Like, let's pull this story back up. Hold on. Charlotte's parents have decided from now on they'll host Christmas for the entire family, and they want my kids they want me to send my kids to them on Christmas Day so they can be with their half sister. I said no. They said this is how they see her at Christmas and at least form a relationship. So, do y'all not do anything else any other time of the year?
They don't.
That's what I'm saying. Is
So they're
like they're
doing the
only
lazy
doing
way.
the barest of minimums.
Oh, so they're like,
So
well, they
they're
can
like,
hang out on Christmas.
right, but even still, they're just like making you seem like a bad parent when you are a full time parent and they're part time. They're not even part time grandparents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, it's literally narcissism. It's literally the flying monkeys trying to get you to keep the boat rocker steady
Mm.
because maybe the dad is pushing them to send them to you know what I'm saying? Maybe that I swear I think the dad is the main pushing factor in all of this. I bet you he's got money. The guy she married, I bet you he's got money or he's like upstanding in the community or something. Somehow he's got a stranglehold on them, and that's why he is forcing this. Or that's why they're forcing all this on the OP. You can't tell me. I really think that he's at the tippity top because who the fuck else goes through this much over kids? Like, I don't know.
It's weird.
It is weird, but this could be his way around the GAL as well.
Mm.
It's just all like It all benefits him. I just feel like everybody's talking small fry, and I'm over here being like, okay, but you guys, that guy, it's not always a man, but it's always a man.
You guys,
What
the
murder?
guy.
What murder?
Nah,
Nah, not
nah,
that guy.
not
Nah.
that guy.
That shit funny though. Like everybody's just like, oh, that's what we were about to do.
What?
We were gonna put a pin in something that I went on this rabbit hole about Luigi Mangione.
What?
Well, like, okay, so all ever since the CEO, like, you know what I'm saying? I've been like watching the like the blocks fall, and it seems just like COINTELPRO. Like everything that we're seeing is just COINTELPRO. Like we saw that article. I made just a random post from like what was it, like BBC, and they were talking about Luigi, and they were talking about, oh, all they're just like fangirl groupies on Discord where they make fun of murder and they laugh about dark corners of the interwebs, and like it was like the most insane shit. And I just thought it was so wild how they wildly miscommunicated what Discord was and like what most people use it for, which is gaming and community and stuff. It's rare that you might have somebody who's really out to do harm, and I know they exist, but I'm just saying that's not normal. You know what I'm saying? And for them to like say that about Discord and then call us like groupies, and then they like said one single paragraph about what people were really upset about, and then it actually presented like over 42% or some shit like that of denied claims, like so, like crazy numbers. But it's okay though because they're just weird groupies and they think that Moida is okay. That's how their article read. And then they literally took an interview with somebody who's being butt fucked. Okay, I don't know how else to tell y'all, but the healthcare system is butt fucking us without any lube. You know what I'm saying? And they took her story of how she is getting that, and they made it like a puff piece.
What?
Yes, they were just like, oh, she's, dying from cancer, but she's out here. She's saying she wouldn't do that, though. She wouldn't do that. She's dying, but she wouldn't do that, though. The healthcare industry is destroying her body, but she wouldn't do that, though.
She's just gonna die.
She's just gonna die like the rest of yous
Yeah,
shouldas.
she's gonna die just how they
Shoulda,
want her
coulda,
to.
wouldas. If you just fucking died 30 years ago, we wouldn't be here. If you would have died at 2012 when we turned the reactor on, we wouldn't be here. Well, it's a reactor, right? Like that super
Oh, the
collider.
super collider.
Whatever. But that shit is crazy, right? And then so I saw that article and I was like, dang, I can't even believe how closely that paralleled some of the shit that I've read during COINTELPRO. You know what I'm saying? And then it got worse because then somebody else started talking about, they saw an article where they literally were there, and the person who was interviewing people for their respectable publication, and it was like CBC or something like that, and CBC like New Global or something. It's on my page. Y'all can go see it on my TikTok. But basically, she was asking them questions, and then later in the actual article she wrote, she would say lies. So like she interviewed multiple different backgrounds of people, but men, women, theys, thems, you know what I'm saying? Gay people, straight people, like all sorts of people. But she said in the article that she only saw women who were out there being groupie fangirls. And then when she asked, well, what were they there to support? The OP said that they specifically said health reform and reproductive rights, I believe, but still health reform. And the person in the article was like, oh, they were here for Luigi because he's so hot. That's blatantly wrong. That's blatantly misrepresenting what they were there for, and it's all lies. That's all shit. That's called bad jacketing. That's called COINTELPRO. That's psychological warfare because they're lying about us. There's all these people. There's just so much that is. It's like Luigi is being seen as a terrorist because in the 1950s and 60s, all the way until 1971, during the time of COINTELPRO, anybody who was speaking up for the rights of the people was seen as a terrorist. And that's why they're fucking trying him as a terrorist. That's why they're calling him a terrorist, because that's how they've always seen people who were against them. If you were not with them, you were against them. And that's why they see him as a terrorist, because he has sparked awakeness. Haven't I said all year that it felt like there's an awakening? Something's about to happen. And then it did. And then now the Republicans, that people are understanding that they've been lied to. People are saying that, fuck you, Elon, we don't like you anymore. And Elon's like, well, fuck y'all anyway. I'm rich as fuck anyway. You said he was for immigration or something.
Yeah, all the Republicans are mad that Elon doesn't want to just close the borders because he needs cheap workers at his factories and to work at Twitter and shit.
Right.
So he's like, no, I want cheap workers to come from India and China. And also, they're actually way smarter than all y'all because they have a culture that values academics. And y'all like prom queens and shit. He said something like that.
Oh my gosh. And you see what I'm trying to say? It's like I don't want us to follow the same path. I feel like we're at a nexus. I don't know, like we're at a crossroads in our history. Are we going to follow the path? Are we going to stay together? With this, we're so close. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to stay together? Are we going to falter? Are we going to fall apart like we did last time? And then another one is like, remember Madeline Pendleton, right? They created all this discourse right before the election. That's something too. That's called infiltration. It's like all of the points. And then now there's like that other person. I'm too afraid to even look into it. But like what I've heard is that there's some lady and she's like saying that racism is okay, but she was I'm not sure what their pronouns are, were speaking about Madeline. They were trying to make a conversation to the white people and it got really bad and it just didn't work out for them. And then all this other shit happened. And I'm just like, y'all are taking the bait. I know that whatever she said sounded fucked up and I don't really care because if you ask me, people are getting the one and done from most black women these days. So if somebody writes you off quickly, it's because of all of this. But anyway, but so close to us talking about Luigi Mangione and them erasing, deny, defend, depose. The words that he put on the bullet casings, they're erasing them from the streets. People are tagging them everywhere.
I think they charged some lady for just saying that on a phone call to her insurance.
Yeah, but she said it in a threatening way.
Like
but,
what?
Like, I'm not condoning this, okay? And I don't think that she's wrong, okay? Like, I believe fully, but I just want to let it be known that I'm pretty sure the reason why is she was like, you're next, deny, defend, post, and then like hung up, and then they called the FBI because they called that an actual threat.
She's getting off on that one.
I don't know, but that's what I've heard. But I would be like, I think that it's not fair if you're just saying it.
Right, exactly.
If you're just
like
saying
it's not a threat, even if you say you're next.
I don't know. That one might. I don't know. Baby, you're next is kind of on the nose. You know.
It's not a threat of any action. It's just you're next. Bye.
See, this is what's known as
this is white privilege. Actually.
Right, like This is what is known as
Like,
like
I know legally I can get away with that, and also immediately because I'm white.
I literally saw a Reddit post just the yesterday, like last night, where it was like, what's the creepiest thing that's still legal? And it was like you can do exactly what you just suggested, and it's completely legal. But I'm brown, and I can't do that.
Hmm.
But you're not, so you can.
Makes sense.
But yeah, they were definitely like, yeah, that's a creepy thing that people do that's totally legal.
Yeah, you can be creepy. Did y'all know this? Like, that's actually probably the best way to like legally protest if they actually ban protests. To like just be creepy around the politicians you don't like, and if everyone's constantly creeping them out, maybe they'll stop.
Anyway, but I,
Anyways,
I just I just went on this like deep rabbit hole though. Like basically all that to say, I'm so sorry if anybody
shut up.
yeah, but no, but
It's
all
the
that to,
patterns.
I
It's
yes.
the patterns. They don't switch up. They don't.
They don't.
They do
and
not.
and I guess that's all I'm trying to say is that it just all feels really familiar to all of the research that I was doing. Like how all these artists came out of the woodwork, and that's a tactic of COINTELPRO, is like discrediting like famous people. That's another tactic.
It's just all
it's
distraction.
it's all a distraction to keep us divided, but I just cannot. We cannot. We
They like
enough.
there's a lot of distractions, but it's very easy to see what's actually happening too at the
Right.
same time,
And the drones are Santa. I'm
which
just
is why
saying.
there's so much shit happening to distract people.
The drones are Santa.
The drones are Santa. We saw
We saw
we
Arthur
saw a
Christmas.
movie and it told the truth,
I
man.
mean, Idiocracy is becoming more and more
We
of a
are the sad thing. We're like
documentary.
beyond idiocracy. They had public housing in idiocracy. Okay, guys, think about that right now. In a future that's dystopian and fucked up, and they drink water out the toilet, or that's the only place with water because they only drink brown dough. That's what the plants
That's what the
crave.
plants crave now.
They had public housing. Okay, they all had houses. Just saying.
What else did we watch? Oh, is Arthur Christmas. I said Arthur Christmas is getting too close to the truth. It's like almost like a Matt Groening kind of feeling. And like I was thinking like we're getting to a point where they're like destroying like media anyway. So
Yeah.
like we need to keep these stories alive. Cause these about to be documentaries for real. These about to be documentaries for real. For real. But anyway. All right, we do got one more story for you guys. Also, if you like this, like this better, like jumping into a story or two, and then like having a big breakdown and talking and stuff, let us know. But we got one more good story for
You know where you
you.
can let us know?
Oh, where do you let us know?
In the Discord.
In the Discord.
Join the
Join the
Discord.
Discord. Damn, that was a good one, sir. That was a good one. Good. All
Mm.
right. All right. All right. All right. All right, but let's go ahead and re-up if you haven't, because we got one more story called Am I the Asshole for Suggesting We Lock Up the Christmas Presents After What My Niece Did Last Year?
I'm gonna say no.
What the fuck did she do? All right, so every year, my siblings and I, alongside our family, spend Christmas with our parents. We stay at their house for a few days. Everybody opens gifts together. It's hectic, but a lot of fun. The kids enjoy having one big sleepover with their cousins. My mom likes having everyone home again, and we all pitch in. It's a win-win.
Were you everybody open your presents at the same time or one at a time? Family.
Um, in our household, we usually stayed up until midnight on Christmas Eve, so Christmas Day, and then we would open presents together. And then as people trickled in, they would open their own presents, and we would gather all around them. But at my past life, They got together on Thanksgiving or shortly after Thanksgiving, but before Christmas, and they would all open presents together on that day. And there wouldn't really be much of a Christmas celebration.
Interesting.
Yeah. Last year, my brother married Sally. She has. Wait, what are you?
Um, I believe we always just tore the presents open at the same time. And we were like, look what I got!
Look what I do it again.
Look what I
It's giving. It's giving. And we know how to weed them out.
got! Shut up.
Oh, we're on a weenie hunt. Anyway, and then last year, my brother married Sally. She has a 7-year-old daughter, Mindy. This was their first Christmas with us. It seemed like they were having a fun time. Christmas Eve, all the kids went to the finished basement to sleep. We told the kids to not open gifts without us and to wake us up when they did. This was repeated several times. Once the kids were asleep, we put all the gifts under the tree and eventually went to bed ourselves. Then, around 6 a.m., I wake up early and head downstairs. I find the living room a mess. Half of the gifts were unwrapped, several of them had been ripped from their boxes, and there was Mindy playing with some of the toys. Most of the ones that weren't even hers. She knows how to read, and they were all labeled, so she knew this. Ah, hell nah, bruh. Nah, the way I would Hulk the fuck out, bro.
Is she
Ugh.
safe? Did those kids whoop her ass?
Bro, like for real, I didn't even think about like the kids. The
I'd be
kids
so
about to be
mad.
like, who is this rando? Like,
Right.
that just
Who
showed up.
invited her?
Who invited you? Like on the.
Sally?
This is why people ask who all over there. Like shit, man. So I was in shock. I went and got my brother, Sally, alongside with the rest of the adults. Sally was super embarrassed, and my mom was very upset. The other kids weren't up yet, so we tried to salvage what we could while Sally talked to Mindy. Not everything could be fixed, and she'd broken a couple of toys.
That
Wow.
quickly?
The broken ones weren't even hers. Wow. Luckily, not everything was damaged, and even the boxes that were, the kids didn't notice. But my nephew, my sister's son, had one of his big gifts destroyed, and he was sad that everybody got theirs and he'd have to wait for a new one to come in. Wow. Oh, Sally and my brother reimbursed everyone. Mindy didn't get to open gifts with everyone but joined festivities later, and she apologized but kept making excuses. And she said she didn't want to wait and she wanted to see what everyone else got too.
Oh my god.
Man,
Nah.
we're all preparing to go to my parents again this year, and I put in the group chat that we should either lock the door to the living room this year or put a gate around the tree so no one can get to it. I didn't even mention names, just specifically said no one. Sally and my brother got mad, accusing me of treating Mindy like a baby or an animal. I mean, hit dogs be hollering and shit.
Mm.
And I said, I'm not, but this is a precaution so none of the kids are tempted. And they said this isn't necessary and I'm holding a mistake over her head. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm trying to make sure we don't have a repeat because I know it will be asked. Mindy does not have autism or ADHD, and even if she did, my daughter has ADHD, and both my sister's kids are on the spectrum. They knew better. I don't think Mindy was malicious. She's only 6, but I do think precautions should be made. And also, people act like 5 and 6 is so big. It is not. It is not. They're still little babies, like little mushy brain babies, okay? But anyway, I do think precautions should be made. My parents agree with me, and my brother is mad that I put it in their heads. Am I the asshole?
Nah.
Nah.
She tore all the presents up.
And I guess, 5 is old enough to go to school, so maybe it's not as mushy as I guess. But even still, like, she let her emotions take over.
Right.
She didn't have the wherewithal to stop herself and think, is mommy gonna whoop my ass later? Or am I going to be embarrassed? Like, they don't think. So, mushy babies, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how you could be the asshole on that. I feel like if our kids tore up everybody's presents and broke some, and we had to pay for that, I would be like, yeah, I don't really care if you lock the presents away, whatever.
And also, who the
I get it.
fuck is around your kids this early? They just started dating, and she, like, literally.
They said like they got married.
Was it?
I thought it was his new wife. Yeah, he married Sally.
Oh.
Who the fuck's kid is
For
this?
real, though.
Anyways.
But for real, though, like.
Yeah, I wonder what that like it because she broke a couple of them.
And one of the big ones.
Like that's purposeful. That's not just she was playing with it and broke it.
Or maybe she couldn't figure it out, and so she just threw it.
Yeah,
I feel like that's something more likely that a child would do,
yeah.
is they would break
A
something because they
6-year
couldn't
old.
understand it. Yeah.
Okay, but that's crazy. How early did she wake up? And kids are loud when they're having fun.
Right.
So
But, like, you travel and stuff like that, and you're just
everyone's
like dog
knocked out.
tired.
Yeah.
And they're not like in a hotel or anything, they're at their parents' house. So there's like an air of comfort always in your parents' like house. Like, I don't know about y'all, but whenever I would go visit my parents when my dad was still alive, I would fall asleep on the couch all the time. But anyway, so it's very possible they was just knocked the fuck out. So I'm just saying.
Why wouldn't you do this? It kind of isn't even about Mindy, of course. Although, of course, it is about Mindy. She ruined Christmas and broke a lot of other people's toys. But you have a bunch of small children who are notoriously bad with impulse control. Why not lock the door or put a gate around the tree? Yeah, I mean, when
Especially because now they know that, oh, nothing bad's gonna happen.
right.
Like, all you got was a talking to, and you had to
I
apologize.
don't know if anyone else did this, but like my dad married into a family that would like have all the kids at one place for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like all the cousins and whatever. And they would have no presents under the tree, and we would all go to bed, and all the presents would be under the tree. Like all the adults would stay up, and once the kids went to sleep,
Yeah, that's what happened
they
here.
would put the stockings on, and like they would throw it all down, and then we would all wake and open it. Wouldn't that be the precaution to just not have the presents out until you want them to be opened?
Yeah.
And also, did my like step family do that because this happened?
Nah, there's no way.
Hmm.
But maybe it's happened where a child has opened everybody's gifts. I'm glad that we were broke in those years,
Hmm.
and we had to send them to my mom, and they didn't know how to get around good to do that.
They know your mom would tear them up if they
Yeah.
messed up anything in her house.
Unfortunately, I do believe you're right. But I don't know. I didn't really do stuff like that. I like tried, but my mom was really particular about taping the tissue paper of bags to the actual thing. So even if you moved it, you still couldn't see nothing. So, like,
Yeah, I never tried to like sneak peek. I would like shake stuff.
oh, I didn't shake stuff because my parents gave us a lot of fragile shit. You don't want to break something on accident.
Yeah, I didn't have to worry about fragile things, I don't think.
One time my parents gave me like a hand, and she was like, it was like this, like a hand like this, and it like stood up, and you could put like your jewelry in it, your rings in it, and stuff like that. I had a glass one, and I had it for a really long time.
That's so nice. Tell me more about your mansion.
Man, shut up. We did have the best Christmases, though. I will say that. But all right, I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts and what y'all think about these stories and some of the topics that we talked about today, because I'm trying to do better by you guys, but I'm just trying to get my head on straight. And we just hit like another wall today, and I'm just like not having the greatest time right now. But we will prevail. We shall. We will. Eventually. But
Eventually.
all right. All right, guys. Well, we love you so, so much. We hope you have the merriest Christmas, your happiest Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. We hope that you're having a good time. And I'm just going to end it with every accusation is just a confession.
Yeah.